Today I'm gonna be stabbing some rainbow friends. Basically, if you don't already know, there's a popular horror game on Roblox. It's called Rainbow Friends.
Wow.
And today, I'm gonna be needle felting some of its characters. I've needle felted a little bit before, but the thing is, I've mostly been needle felting squishmallows. They're a very basic blob kind of shape. They're not too complex. Rainbow Friends have a little bit more to them, so this might be a bit challenging for me.
And what's gonna be challenging for you is finding these 3 needle-felted creations that are hidden somewhere throughout this video. Take my word for it. These are gonna be impossible to find. Don't say I didn't warn you. So before I start needle felting, I brought in a styrofoam base. Next thing I need is some wool. This isn't wool, it's pillow stuffing. This is what I'm using for the insides, just because it's cheaper than wool. I'm gonna be stabbing all my rainbow friends today with this multi-needle tool. Already off to a bad start. Turns out the needles are all dull. I've been needle felting a lot lately, so I should have gotten replacement needles. But it's too late now. The show must go on. It's fine, it's fine. So what I'm making is a circle. I'm basically making each component of the rainbow friends separately and then attaching them together in the end. I'm starting at the top, so the sphere is gonna be the head. The first rainbow friend I'm making today is gonna be blue, hence the blue wool. I'm trying to stab everything as evenly as possible. I'm not wearing finger protectors. I don't usually stab myself much. I only stabbed myself once throughout this whole ordeal. I'm fine. I'm recovering. I'm choosing to forego the finger protectors today because they're just too annoying for me personally. So far, so good. I'm setting the head aside for now while I make the rest of them. This time I skipped the polyfill insides entirely and went straight in with the wool. You might think I have a reason for doing that, but no, there's no real method to my madness. This time I made something resembling an egg. It's not actually an egg, it's the body for blue. I'll have to figure out a way to attach those together, but I'll worry about that later. For now I'm stabbing together some more body parts, more specifically, the arms. They're pretty simple to make. I basically made one giant long blue turd. Here it is. Isn't it beautiful? At least I like to think so. Don't get too attached to it though. I'm using these shears to chop it up into a couple smaller turds. These little tiny shears I have aren't really heavy duty shears. They're more meant for like trimming fuzz off my needle felted masterpieces, so they're not working super well, but you know, they get the job done. Eventually. Why I didn't resort to regular scissors is beyond me, but yeah, this is what they're really meant for. Just trimming fuzzies off, making it look cleaner. These actually came with a needle felting kit when I first started needle felting. They haven't let me down since. So here's the arms. Oops. So here's the arms. Oops. Here's the arms. Nothing special. Just 2 blue stumps. Gorgeous. I wanted to attach them to Blue's body, so I'm stabbing them in. This time I'm using my single needle tool to get the job done. I only really use the single needle tool to poke in the smaller details. I don't use it for the whole thing because that would take forever, and I don't have forever. Working smarter, not harder. Alright, so it doesn't look like much yet, but this is progress, and that's a good thing. The arms are looking very detached. I wanted to make it look more like one piece, if that makes sense. So I'm adding more wool on top to blend everything in a bit. A little stabbing here, a little blending there. I'm not done yet.
The next day.
Several stabbings later, and it still looks a little detached. But yeah, good enough for me. I keep trimming off the fuzzies, and that's because the less fuzzies there are, the better they look. More finished, dare I say, professional.
Yes.
So now we have a body and we have a head. I'm still not attaching those together quite yet, but I'll get around to it. Before I do that, I'm making another long blue turd. That's the theme for today, long turds. Delicious. This time I didn't even try messing with the shears. I just went straight in with the scissors, which worked a lot better. You live and you learn. These are meant to be Blue's stumpy legs. I stabbed those into the sides very carefully and deliberately, one stab at a time. It's a very zen process. You might have noticed, one leg is longer than the other. But that's not a problem, because I'm chopping them both down to size anyways. I made some very long arms compared to his legs. He likes to grab unsuspecting Roblox noobs with them. My sympathies to the noobs. Anyways, back to his round head. There's some work that needs to be done here. This is where I blanked out. I didn't remember my own tips and tricks for needle felting. Shame on me. I could have cut some pieces out of felt and stabbed those on and I'd be done. But no, I've decided to make my life more challenging. Everyone loves a good challenge, especially me apparently. That's why I've taken to making these details by time-consumingly stabbing on little bits of wool. Would have looked cleaner with the felt, but we're not gonna dwell on that. Anyways, this rainbow friend has a nice big smile and he's been drooling. He's got some really cool eyes. One of his eyes is a button eye. It's kinda sewn on. Adds to the creepy factor. I did eventually remember the felt trick, so the white of the eye is made from a little piece of felt poked in. Saved me a lot of time and a lot of heartache. I don't know if it's just me. It probably is just me. But he kinda looks like the Cookie Monster. Hopefully he won't once I'm done with them. Blue runs around wearing a crown, so I cut that out of felt and stabbed that on. Simple enough. I tried stabbing his head onto his body, but that's proving to be a little difficult. I feel like if he had a neck, things would be a little easier, but he doesn't, so it's just not working. But that's fine. I'm just gonna cheat and use a little bit of fabric hot glue. No one has to know. That's pretty much it for Blue. In my opinion, he's a blutie. Pretty impressive if you ask me. You know what else is impressive?
Enlighten me.
My new, limited time only merch that's only available for a limited time. There's the snowman design you guys loved from last year. I'm re-releasing him, so get him now and don't ask me where it disappeared to later. I also have 2 brand new designs. Valerie, aka Trevor's crush. She walks through life with a blah kind of expression, like life's a party and she's over it. And last but not least, we have the Wreck You worm, tiny but ferocious. Deceivingly cute, they'll never see it coming. Like I said, get them now before they vanish forever. Link is down below. Moving on. Next up, I want to make green. It's very convenient that they're named after the color that they are. Keeps things simple. I like simple. This is all the green felt that I have right now. I don't know if it's a close enough color match, but it'll have to do. These two aren't the same color, so I'm getting rid of them. The rainbow green friend, aka Green, has a very distinct shape. He looks exactly like one of those floaty guys with the long noodle arms outside of car dealerships. Scary stuff. So for Green, I'm starting off by stabbing together a T kind of shape, but it's not gonna be a T for long. If you look at his body, it's kind of like an upside down Y, so I'm adding some little nubby legs to the bottom. I fabric hot glued those on, and then I just kind of patched some more wool around the fabric hot glue to hide it. I then made another nice, long turd. This time it's a green turd. Surprise, surprise. Obviously these are going to be his long, flappy noodle arms. I've given up stabbing body parts together entirely. I just skip right to the fabric hot glue. And that's because my needles have gotten really, really dull at this point. They were already dull when I started, so now they're really starting to give up on me. But I refuse to go back to the store today. I just won't do it and you can't make me. Complain if you want. It changes nothing. At the ends of his long, flappy arms, Green has some little pinchy hands. I stabbed those together, cut them out, and they look nothing like hands. They just look like green blocks, so I'm fixing that with some trimming. I'm giving him his 3 signature pinchy fingers. How cute. Cute enough to pinch that subscribe button with, I hope. Alright, moving on to his face. He looks kinda derpy, which I love, and I love his little tongue that sticks out. I also love his bulging eyeballs. I was hoping I had a little pom-pom or something on hand for these, but I didn't, so I'm making them myself manually. I'm basically just stabbing wool until it forms 2 little semicircles for the eyeballs. I think it looks alright. You can tell it's green, because who else could it possibly be? It can't be blue, so therefore it's green. It also can't be pink, which is who's up next. That's why I'm using pink felt. It's because I'm making pink. Let me know if that's not clear, and I'll be sure to get you some help. This time I got together a nice, bright pink turd. It's a fluorescent pink. Healthy stuff. Just working with what colors I have, and I think it's close enough. This rainbow friend is pretty good. It's probably the simplest of the 3, and that's important because my needles basically might as well be stumps at this point. You might think I'm joking, but no, you can really tell when the needles start to dull out. I'm not making this up, it's not just in my head. This is the reality of the situation. So I started out by making a pink plus sign. This is the body and the mouth, though it doesn't really look like much of anything right now. I made another long pink turd. I warned you, nice, long, healthy turds are the theme for today. I'm gonna chop that in half, and these are gonna be the legs. Oh, I'm tired. I was filming this late at night, my energy levels were running low, but obviously pink isn't anywhere near finished yet, so I'm still going. I made some eye stalks for it and I added those on. You might notice the legs have magically disappeared, and that's because I ripped them off. They just weren't good enough. I'm gonna try again. Another turd, another trim. Say it with me. Just kidding, don't do that. There's no need for that. Okay, I think the base shape is looking pretty good. Looks like pink to me. Cute, cute. I'm now working on the details. All the little facial features, which is basically just a giant mouth and 2 little snail eyes poking out the top. Not cute, not cute. I don't know if it's just me, but I really love the designs of these Rainbow Friends characters. They're like so simple, but so cool at the same time. There's just a certain charm about them. Speaking of charm, I'm adding its perfectly straight pearly whites with some fabric paint, and some little snail pupils to match, of course. So here's how blue, green, and pink turned out. I didn't make all the rainbow friends today, just settled on these 3 freaks for now. I hope you can appreciate their charms.